beautiful people, and welcome back to Beauty and Comfort. My name is Keisha. If you're new here, welcome. We're glad to meet you. If you're a repeat visitor, welcome back. What we're gonna be doing today is a chocolate covered cherry soap. I'm super duper excited about this. I made a custom fragrance blend that I think will be perfect to illustrate this idea. So we have our turbo butter recipe. Everybody's melted. We're looking at about 70 degrees on the lye water and the oils. We have two colors here. I have a more maraschino cherry red, a warm tone chocolate brown color, and my titanium dioxide. The three main components will be a milk chocolate, white chocolate, and a maraschino cherry. If you've ever purchased those little chocolate covered cherries, when you bite into it, there's like this gel syrup situation that happens. So I want the red color to be that. And then we're gonna put some cherry embeds on top. I have everything we need, so let's get started. So the first thing, as always, is putting our additives into our oils. So I'm gonna be using rose kaolin clay. I'm doing this one today because this is a red tone soap, so I think this will be perfect. And we're gonna be doing coconut milk. So to get it started, we're gonna do about 4 of the little scoops that come in here. All right, coconut milk done. I forgot my teaspoon measure, but I do have a spoon, so we're gonna use him. And I'm just gonna eyeball a tablespoon. Ta-da! Magical. We're done with these additives. We're gonna move them to the side as always. This will give our final bar a warm red tone color, which I think is exactly where I wanna go. So first thing we're gonna do is dunk our additives under the oil, and we're gonna blend this for about 30 seconds to a minute. Let's start blending. Now, we're looking all smooth and blended. As always, take your handy dandy spat. Check to make sure there's no clumps and bumps hanging around. He's looking good. Take the top off for a second. And put on my gloves, because we're gonna move into the lye. Now I'm gonna burp the baby. And I'm going to stir and sort of blend in pulses while we pour all this in. Every last drop. Swirly, swirly, swirly. And I'm gonna blend this for about 30 seconds. All right, this is all well blended and emulsified. I just realized I forgot the mold. Hold on a sec. Now let's proceed. I'm not gonna blend anymore. This is pretty much getting thick on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and just mix this in. I'm gonna continue to stir that in until I can ensure that all my fragrance is nicely incorporated. So first, we're gonna fill up the chocolate color. So I'm gonna do the majority of chocolate. All right, and I'm gonna put the red right next to it so I can eyeball half. And then the rest of this will be white. I'm gonna start with the red. Ooh, that's beautiful. He's beautiful and he smells beautiful. He's exactly the color that I wanted him to be. So as you can see, he's a really nice, bright maraschino red that I was going for. So he is fantastic. Most chocolate goodies that we pick up at the store typically have some type of a red or yellow undertone. They're very warm to me, so I always tend to try to go a little bit warm. So if I get a little red in here, it's perfectly fine. Oh, that's nice. If I was a chocolatier, I'd be satisfied. All right, so I'm gonna put these two to the side, get my stick blender back, and then we're going to pour in about half of this. So I'm gonna eyeball for half and see how white that gets it. I don't want it to be like Snow White because milk chocolate has a little bit of a yellow situation going on. So it doesn't have to be pristine white. So right now it's looking like a really pale pink. I don't want to force any glycerin ribbons. I'm gonna go ahead and clean off my blender attachment, and then we're gonna pull everybody together and start pouring. Alrighty, we got everybody we don't need out the way. We've zoomed you guys in a little bit so we can watch this pour in action. Let's start going. We're gonna do an in the pot drop swirl. I'm sorry, we're gonna do drop swirl. I don't know what I was gonna say in the pot swirl, but that's not what I'm doing. Nice little layer of chocolate. Nice little bit of white. A drizzle drazzle of red. And repeat. Oh, that's so pretty. It looks like a little heart. Aw, that's gorgeous. I'm gonna let this firm up a little bit, give it about 1 or 2 minutes, and then we'll start our mica line. Alrighty, so this has been sitting for about 2 minutes. It's still a little loosey-goosey, but that's perfectly fine. So I went and picked up some black walnut powder, and this is gonna look like cocoa powder on top. I also picked up my beetroot powder. Ooh. So I'm gonna sprinkle these two in the top, kind of have like a powdered situation in between the next layer, which will be our frosting. And to give me a more warm tone, I'm going to take some brown iron oxide. He has a warmer tone in comparison to the black walnut powder, but I like having that dimension of color. That's why I'm using 2 different ones. So what I'm going to do is take my spoon, and I'm going to take my brown iron oxide, just lightly tap that on. Then I'm going to pick up some of my beetroot powder. The same thing. And then I'm gonna do the exact same over here with the walnut seed powder. I don't want this to be a really thick mica line, so I'm gonna have a little something on there. I'm gonna take me a nice wooden skewer here that has like a point, so it's kind of like a toothpick. I'm gonna go a little bit in, and I'm gonna swirl that mica line in a little bit, especially in the chunkier spots. Now that he's looking good, I'm actually going to go back in with the beetroot powder and do a mica line. I'm going to now take my fairy duster in sparkly red. I'm just gonna hit the top just to give me a little something underneath all this frosting we're about to put on. Look at that. He's so pretty. So I'm gonna take a break here for a few minutes, let this solidify just a little bit more on the top so he can hold the frosting. We'll be back once the frosting is ready. Alrighty, so it's been about 10 minutes. I did blitz the remaining batter. I filled my piping bag about halfway because I'm not intending this to be a full-blown 3-tiered high top. And I'm gonna be using an open circle tip. This is still relatively loose. It's not ultra dope or firm, but he will do. And we're just gonna go ahead and plop on some little dollops like this and pipe ourselves across. I think I'm gonna do 2 rows or 2 layers of piping, and then we can move on to embeds. Okay, so we're gonna stop. I'm gonna grab my glitter. I'm going back with my sparkly red and lightly dust the tops and the sides. Then I'm gonna take my ruby red slipper glitter from Matte Micas, and I'm gonna hit it with a little glitter. So that's done. I'm gonna set them out of the way. We're gonna get back to piping. Please hold while we get a refill. If you have any experience with piping cakes, it's the same idea with this. All right, that's looking good. I'm satisfied with the frosting, so I'm gonna scrape this excess out so we can move on to the embeds. Okay, so now that we have that done, I'm gonna take the remaining chocolate colored batter. That's good for now. Now we're gonna come over here and get my cherry embeds, and we're gonna lay them in here. My hands are really small, so the gloves are not my friend. I know they wanna protect me, but they're not making this process easier for me. They really don't. They really don't. Now that we're reaching the end of this soap design, I want to ask you, I'm not a huge fan of cherries or chocolate covered cherries for that matter. What is your vibe on it? Are you like me? Do you like the way it smells but not so much the taste of it? Are you more of a, you know, hey, whatever, chocolate is chocolate? Would you like to see more chocolate and fruit inspired designs? If you would, let me know. Alrighty, here he is. He is so pretty. I'm super excited about how he's looking. All right, last thing we're gonna do is spritz it with some alcohol. So, as always, it's time to put him to bed. So we're gonna put this to bed for 18 to 24 hours, and then we'll be back for the chop. So I'll see you tomorrow, or in your case. Alrighty guys, welcome back. It's been roughly 48 hours since we processed chocolate covered cherries. I think he came out amazing. The smell is absolutely phenomenal. And now it's time to get inside and see what those swirls look like.
Let's cut.
You gotta get to there you go. Come on, you can do it.
You can do it! That is pretty. Ooh. Now that caught your attention, didn't it? Now I'm loving that. I'm finna try something new. I might end up cutting this out, but my thought of the day. I survived because of the fire inside of me burns brighter than the fire around me. What do you think about that? When will these gorgeous soaps be available?
We're pushing this to March, or we're putting it in February.
So we can call these March 1st babies. So these babies will be available March 1st, Monday 2021. You can grab these on beautyandcomfort.com. Get them before they're all gone. I want to thank you guys for watching this amazing video. Don't forget to leave likes, comments, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.